Okay, let's look at example 1. Sketch the graph of y equals to 1 over x. Of course, this is O-level stuff, no problem. Indicating 1, 1, no, indicating 1, 1 on your diagram. A separate axis, sketch this and that. So, suppose we have sketched y equals to fx and 1, 1 is a. Of course, we all know where is a. Okay, sorry, I forgot to recap certain things that are in my lecture. Certain laws in my lecture. Those in black, very clear, are printed in your notes. Anything in blue, you have to copy. Very clear. Okay, anything in red, also not in the notes. But I want to highlight certain things. Okay, so black, generally don't copy. Okay? Actually, you realize that compared to your seniors, a lot of things are printed for you. The idea is really for you to listen and not spend too much time copying. But of course, I do understand that sometimes if your hands stop, your brain also stop, and then your eyes also close. So let's be mindful of that. Okay? So there's a balance. I want you to copy certain things, but when there's very few copying, I hope that you all listen up and understand the main ideas. Alright? Okay. Now, let's take a look at this graph. So if we want this, we will rewrite this as y plus 2 equals to 1 over x. Okay, generally we will do that. So if you rewrite this as y plus 2 equals to 1 over x, what is it then? Alright, so what is the transformation from here to this new graph? It is a translation in the negative y direction by 2 units. Correct? After you write this description, I am very sure that you can sketch this. Or rather here. Am I right? Essentially, I want the whole graph to be translated in the negative y direction by 2 units. So let's not forget, when we translate this, actually y equals to 0 is an asymptote. Asymptote. You remember what's an asymptote? Yes, huh? So when you translate, this horizontal asymptote must also be translated. So let us not forget this dotted line here. Okay, it also must be translated. So what happened to A? A was 1, 1. Correct? A was 1, 1. So what happened to A? It should be, it's not very drawn, not drawn very to scale, but you should see that A becomes here 1, negative 1. Somewhere there, 1, negative 1. Oh, yes? Or the half is the intercept. Or is actually a y-intercept. That means when y equals to 0, x equals to half. Correct? Remember SIA, you have to label everything. Okay, the half is actually, you think about it, when y is 0 here, you sub y equals to 0 here, what do you get for your x? Yeah. Okay? Now, the next part, part 2. You look at part 2 here. Again, I minus 2 on both sides, I get y minus 2. I'm sure you all know. Right, you all can do it on your own. Do exactly the same thing. Now it's y minus 2, and the description is now translation 2 units in the positive y direction. So you translate the whole graph, entire graph upwards. If you are fast enough, you can actually sketch on your own, no problem. Alright? Again, don't forget your asymptote is also translated. It's a horizontal asymptote. If it's translated in the y direction, it's also translated 2 units upwards. And again, you should not forget that what happened to A. What happened to A here? A is then translated upwards by 2 units, which means A should be somewhere here. Is that alright? Again, why is this negative half here? Because when y is 0, when you sub y is 0 here, you get x equals to negative half. That's just an intercept. Okay? No problem. Are you okay? Just a quick note. If you sketch this, on your GC, or even you sketch this on your GC, the GC can never tell you where the asymptotes are. GC will never give you dotted line. That's very careful. Okay, so you must know what are the asymptotes, and then you translate accordingly. You translate the asymptotes accordingly. Okay. Okay, example 2. You are given a parabola like that. Parabola, remember this parabola? Yes? Doesn't matter, if you don't remember also doesn't matter. You are given that. You don't know this shape also doesn't matter. But they give you the equation here, and what you are required to do is to identify the transformation from here to here. From here to here. I think quite easy. Just replacing y with y plus a. So essentially, what is the transformation involved? Is it upwards or downwards? Downwards, very good. So, but you don't know what is k. Does it matter? No, because you know k is positive. It will be a different story altogether if I don't know whether k is positive or negative. That will be a problem. But they are given that k is positive here. K is positive. So you just translate the entire graph k units downwards from 4, 0 to 4, negative k. Done. The reason why I put the dotted line here is to tell ourselves that there is a line of symmetry. Okay? It's not a symptom, it's just a line of symmetry. Follow? Yes.
So instead of 2 bracket y plus k square, then in your translation be different.
It will be the same. You try.
Because now we are taking like you shift over, you are taking over that.
Shift over, shifting.
If you think about it, the same value of x, what happens to the y? Let's see what x
For the original graph,
x is square, the y is
for original.
So for the new graph for x is 4, y is 1. So 4 minus 4.
Alright, okay, 10, let's continue. Okay, now we talk about yes. Say again, can you repeat your question? Okay, many of you have a repeated question. Why do you not expand? What do you not expect? Okay, let's revisit what we did earlier, okay? Let's revisit here. How do we get here to here? We are asking ourselves for the same x, that means 3, I get 27 here. How do I get 27? How do I get, if I sub x equals to 3 here, I will sub y equals to 22 in order to get 22 plus 5 equals to 27. So what we are doing is just a replacement. That means in order to get the same x, what y do I get? I must use y minus 5, 27 minus 5. Regardless whether, what is this expression on the right? I don't care what is the expression on the right. It can be x cubed and x5 and x20. So now, whether it is y squared or y plus 5 squared doesn't matter. All I'm talking about is this. Here, you ask yourself, here, this is surely 1 point because I sub x equals to 4. I will get y equals to 0. Nobody will dispute. For the new graph, I sub x, in order to get the right hand side to be equal to 0, or rather, I sub x equals to 4, sub x equals to 4, I get right hand side 0, I must substitute y equals to negative k. So, for sure, this must be a point for negative k. So you do similarly throughout, you will get the same thing. So all you worry about is a replacement of y. I don't care what is the expression. If I replace y with y plus k, it will be a transition. Follow what I'm saying? Of course, you have to do it mechanically, it's like that, but you must understand why. As long as you replace y with y plus k, it will always be a transition. Regardless what is this expression. Can? Okay? Alright.